Now, locals say parking downtown is already expensive, but the Austin Downtown Alliance is moving to increase the price even more. Fredericksburg is notorious for two things: wineries and speeding on Highway 290. But just a month after city advocates fought for reduced speed limits, well, some cars are just not getting the message. And now that the weather is heating up, hikers on trails are finding snakes like this one. Now, when drivers come to the pump to fill up their gas tank, they're not realizing that nearly 20 billion barrels of oil found in Crockett County is actually having a vast environmental impact right here in this town. They say that 17 proposed bills would allow people to discriminate against members of the LGBTQ community. Now, Mayor Steve Adler named today Electric Vehicle Day in Austin. If you notice, the car doesn't have a gas tank or even an engine up front. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Triolo. Austin police are investigating a suspicious death that happened last night around 9:30. A grieving community paid their respects to the 13 victims of last week's bus crash. Judge Richard Clifton says just 15% of the world's Muslims would be affected by the ban, and a decision is likely to come later this week. A class project turned into a beacon of hope.
We didn't expect for it to be part of all these events, and we didn't expect, of course, the student government competition to come up.
3 interior design students are using their class assignment to build a light for Goldsmith Hall on campus to shed light on bigger university safety concerns.
We thought about more of the holistic approach of not just looking at the focus between the courtyard, which is what the assignment was, but looking at campus as a whole.
The lanterns were first debuted at Haruka Weiser's memorial service last week.
It really humbled, I think, all of us, knowing that this project was not about us, that it was very much about honoring Haruka.
Now, UT student government is trying to make the lanterns a permanent fixture on campus.
Basically, they're supposed to light the way, especially with focusing light on your feet as opposed to glaring into your eyes.
UT safety groups approach the students about their design due to its mobility and use of a battery-free light. While the lanterns are not accessible to students yet, their name shares a personal connection with one of their designers who is from the same city as Haruka.
I'm from Portland myself, and I was not close with Haruka personally at all, but her younger brother, Nobo is his name, was friends with my little brother.
In honor of Haruka, the Nobo lanterns have now become a symbol for her death and movement towards campus safety.
This lantern, man, it's just been more than what we ever would have expected.
Triolo, Texas News Watch. Multiple Senate bills in the 85th Texas legislature are proposing that abortion should be revised or banned, no fetal tissue should be sold, and any aborted babies should be cremated or buried. Even revision to contraceptive distribution is on the table. Women's rights are under attack. What do we do? And men of all ages
I'm here today fighting for women.
Gather at the Texas State Capitol in protest.
They're letting the folks who are here know that if they aren't listening to them, if they're voting against our interests, against our health, against our values, we're going to hold them accountable at the ballot box.
Leanne Bryce traveled from her Fort Worth church to speak at the rally, urging participants that faith doesn't mean women shouldn't have the right to an abortion.
For me, it is an issue of choice, yes, because I believe in that, but I also deeply believe that it's an issue of justice.
We will not back down.
But many lawmakers feel Planned Parenthood has suffered too much controversy to continue as a healthcare source for women and men.
They've committed Medicaid fraud, not just at the state level, but even under the Obama administration. The Department of Justice had to do an investigation, and they had to pay up.
As passion flows from the Capitol steps, testimonies for the bills that will ultimately decide the fate of Planned Parenthood are still being heard inside. The Senate Health and Human Services Committee has until May 27th to make their final decision on whether or not they should pass these bills. Triolo, Texas News Watch.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
Sanctuary city policies are sparking debate in Austin as law enforcement and public officials are coming head to head.
We are working on laws that will, one, ban sanctuary cities, remove from office any office holder who promotes sanctuary cities, impose criminal penalties as well as financial penalties.
The proposal spurring backlash comes from an announcement made by Governor Greg Abbott in response to Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez.
Our jail cannot be perceived as a holding tank for ICE or that Travis County deputies are ICE officers.
The Republican governor is sending a message to Sheriff Hernandez, who says she will not follow the pre-existing immigrations and customs enforcement policy, and will instead only hold potentially undocumented immigrants if they are charged with aggravated sexual assault, murder, or human smuggling.
We do not need to be dictating from Austin. We need to let law enforcement do what they think is best for their communities.
Here at the University of Texas, law experts say Governor Abbott may not have the grounds to retaliate against democratically elected officials.
The only way he could change the appointment and removal process for a sheriff would be to get a constitutional amendment. But a piece of legislation will not do that.
But Governor Greg Abbott says he is trying to protect Texas citizens.
This is completely outrageous because what she is doing under her plan, she would give sanctuary to people who are in the United States illegally.
The ban will potentially cut $1.5 million from Travis County. In Austin, Triolo, Spectrum News.